Hey guys, and welcome to the Dark Souls boss guide for the Moonlight Butterfly of the Darkroot Gardens. Alright, so there's three moves that you want to be aware of here. There's the green spikes that the butterfly shoots at you. There's this green orb that he also fires at you. It's a little way more deadly. And then finally there's this beam that he tends to use later on in the fight that sweeps right across the bridge. So those are the three things you want to watch out for, so without further ado, here's attempt number one. This is going to be the fail attempt. You guys are going to be able to see one attempt where things don't exactly go as planned, and then one where we learn from that and we are able to take him down. So I'm just waiting here for him to do an attack. You always want to wait in the distance for them, because if you're closer, it's a way harder time to try to dodge them if you're right up in front of them. You see here, I wait for it. This is the way you do not want to dodge. You don't want to dodge the green orb, which is probably his most deadly move, away from it. Basically what you want to do is you want to dodge towards it. Now, I don't know that yet in this fight. You'll see a lot of me getting hit by that move, and you'll see exactly how hard the fight becomes when you're not dodging that one move. That's probably the one move that if you can dodge and you get hit by the other ones, you're okay. And what you're seeing here is hiding behind this wall. It's a viable option to try to not even have to dodge, just have the wall block the attacks. But as you see, the butterfly kind of reacts to it, and he basically transitions to the other side of the bridge when he sees you there. So if you get him mid-attack, you can use it to dodge, but you'll see here he just transitions. As soon as you try to take cover, the boss kind of recognizes that, and it's almost an automatic flip to the other side of the bridge. So it's not exactly something you can try to pull off throughout the entire fight. So after you dodge enough attacks, the butterfly lands, and you're basically free to just let loose on him. Nothing to worry about. Except when you see this green flash, that's when you've got to get out, and basically the entire process just repeats itself again. So he's going to go back up into the air, and he's going to repeat using those same three moves over and over again. So here's again me getting hit by this green orb that's giving me a lot of trouble. And another example of what you don't want to do is try to time using your flasks when there's right after he launches an attack, so that there's sufficient time to get the flask off without getting damaged again. So right there, that's the first time I kind of get it, that dodging towards the orb is the easiest way to dodge. If you dodge away from it, you will avoid it sometimes, but most times it'll just cause it to hit you directly. It is a homing orb, so you can't really escape it. You just have to time your dodge rule to avoid it. I just kind of squeeze out there. So I wasn't doing too bad in this fight, but what the downfall was, I used way too many flasks. So again, that's the perfect dodge right there. You want to stay way in the distance and then run towards the orb and dodge under at the right time. Now that's a bad flask drink right there. I got lucky, but because I ran right in front of him and he shot the orb off, that is what kind of starts to do me in here. It's almost the beginning of the end of this battle. Now this beam, the only way to dodge it is to just get out of its range past the path of the beam, or to be in front of the beam. Those are the only two ways to dodge it effectively that I know of. You might be able to dodge around it, but it's not going to be always a guarantee. So again, I used a really badly timed flask there. That's what caused me to die. So now we're going to see the successful run and see how I applied everything I learned from the first fight, and to make sure that this one goes a lot more smoothly. So I'm just going to recover my body here. Okay, so I'm keeping my distance right from the start of the fight to make sure that anything he fires off of me, I have the best chance possible to dodge it. So you see the orbs coming at me. Perfect dodge right underneath it, jumping towards the orb. These spikes, you probably noticed they're not exactly the easiest things to dodge, in the sense that it's a lot of luck. You're not gonna... I mean, you might get used to the pattern to be able to kind of walk between them, but even dodge rolling, they come at you so fast that you almost have to be prepared to eat that and just heal through it. But these orbs are the one thing that you can control every single time, as long as you dodge properly. So again, I'm trying to get away from here, so I have distance between me and him, so that when he does fire off one of those orbs, it's easy to jump underneath. So right here, that was a really badly timed roll, but I got lucky. And this one too, I was right in front of him, but again, I kind of lucked out. So it's not impossible, but it's not exactly ideal to try to plan for being at that kind of range to dodge. So again, I'm going to dodge towards it. You basically, it looks like you're running right at it, and at the last second you hit the dodge button. You will almost every single time, 100% of the time, avoid it, as long as you've timed the dodges properly. Now you're going to see something that probably won't happen to you. My weapon is getting pretty low, so it's not going to do nearly as much damage as it should. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you. You'll probably be able to take down this boss even faster than I did, as long as your weapon's not having those kind of issues. So again, I'm going to keep my distance here, either to his left or his right. I'm just waiting for an attack to go off. And then if it's I got used to the fact that if it was the spikes, I was just going to have to eat the damage. And if it's the orb, then I'm doing my best to avoid it. Now see, that's what happens when you don't dodge towards it. I was running the other way, I couldn't time it right. There's dodging towards it, no damage whatsoever. So I'm getting the hang of it now. I haven't used very many flasks, it's already low. Now here's how you want to be able to get away from that beam. You want to get as far to the left or far to the right of the butterfly as you can when that beam is going to be launched off. That's another reason why it's always good to be to as far left or right, because in case you don't know when the beam is going to go off, you're already in position to avoid it. If you're far to his right, then when he starts the beam, you're going to be way in front of its path. It won't even come near you. If you're far to the other side of the butterfly, you're going to be able to... it's going to end its path before it even reaches you. So I'm unloading here, not doing nearly as much damage as I should with my damaged weapon. Luckily, I was able to dodge a lot of the attacks this fight, so it didn't really matter that it took me probably a couple extra cycles than it should have. So again, I moved all the way to the left there, and the beam started before me, so I didn't even really... I put in a dodge roll to be safe, but I really didn't even have to do that much to avoid it. You're just doing yourself a favor if you're always near his left or far away from his left or right, because you're already way in position for basically every attack. If you're ever in the middle of the bridge this fight consistently, you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're probably going to run into way more problems than you would if you just stayed far away from him. Alright, so we switched sides here. I made a run for the door just in case I could get an extra block in, but of course he switches to the other side. I probably should have even just known that from the start and not even bothered, because it kind of got me near his middle here, which isn't where I want to be. But nonetheless, I was able to get back into position. Dodging some more of the orbs, jumping towards them. Alright, so he's going to land here, and I'm going to unload. I get him low. I don't finish him off with the way my weapon is, but low enough that it should only take one more cycle to put this bug down. Overall, this is a pretty simple fight. It's the first one that only took me like a couple tries in Dark Souls. It's when it comes to attacking, he basically just sits there and lets you do your thing. The whole main meat of the fight is just taking as little damage as possible so that you can last off whatever flasks you have, and not find yourself in a position where those needles are what's killing you because you have no way to heal. Because in the end, that's the only thing that should be killing you, surprisingly, because if you're dodging the beam and you're dodging these orbs the right way, you'll see here I'm way past its path. If you're dodging all the things that are dodgeable, the only thing that is going to hit you consistently in this fight are the spikes. And then if that's all that's hitting you, you'll have more than enough flasks to make sure that that you can heal yourself through it and just kind of fight your way to the end of each cycle to get in the hits you need to take them out. So you should be landing sometime soon here. I have 2 flasks left, which is more than enough at this point. I'm just kind of trying to wait him out. Here he goes. And I'll just unload on him. And he's down. Alright guys, hope that was helpful. Hopefully that makes things a lot easier for you guys when you take on the Moonlight Butterfly. Remember the main key things. Don't want to be in the middle of the bridge. You always want to be on as far left or right. Dodge the attacks that you can, and just have enough flasks to take the blow from the spikes. Alright guys, that's it. Thanks a lot. See you on the next one.